Gods and people. K. Mapak. To the critique of Hegel's philosophy of rights. Man, who searched for the heavenly reality of the heavenly being, found only so that he would no longer wish to find only the outwardness of himself, only not of man, where he seeks and must seek his true reality. The basis of an irreligious approach is this. It is easier to give religion, while the religionist does not create man. And in Shio religion is self-consciousness and self-feeling who either has not yet found himself or has already lost himself again. But man is not an abstract creature that does not exist somewhere. Man is also a state, a society. This state, this society, is about religion, a perverse world gifting, for it is itself a false world. Religion is the general theory of this world, its encyclopedic compendium, but in pro form, its spiritualistic pointers honorers, enthusiasm, its moral sanction and solemn fulfillment of its universal basis for frames. It transforms human essence into a fantastic bad staxel, because human essence does not possess true reality. Sadly, the struggle against religion is indirectly a struggle against that world, the spiritual mustache of which is religion. Religious piety is at the same time an expression of real misery and of this real misery. Relpo is the opium of the people. The abolition of religion, like that of the Diazor family, is a demand for its definitive equipment. The requirement to give up illusions about one's position is the requirement to give up a position that needs. Varnasle caparusa por ccm chetinate ropol sansers porus. Caparusa sepocasa nena yapamami expands. New flowers, not in order for humanity to carry these goals, but their form is nothing more than a banner, freeing a person from the auto-acted, the line reality as if shying from illusions, as having become so that he revolves around himself and his active sun. Religion is only a lacquer with moving around a person until he finds himself moving around himself. The task of history, therefore, since the truth is really bad, is to establish this world. Criticism of heaven is thus transformed into criticism of the earth, criticism of religion, Turi Npasa, criticism of theology, into criticism of politicians. K. You have a 9 colt. Loss 414 to 415. Anti-Luoria. And how fantastically and the people of those hanging forces that suck under it do not take the form of an object of that reflection on Thea, first of all from nature, which are fra de deni pro and of various peoples, middle Olanesurization. This first and in the process is traced with the help of comparatively and at least among the Indo-European peoples and Aero Nepos prove in the Indian Padaxan. Further the foundations of the Roman Sermonier and how much the motor is naked and also in the bell and can. But soon, by the forces of nature, the Israelites also had a volume of salt, which produced the same quality and period of the table as explainable to it as the forces of nature and, like the latter, dominate it with the same natural necessity, the fantastic images of which initially reflected only the mysteries of power. Nature are now also acquiring higher attributes and becoming representative forces. Given the stages of development and the nature of the natural and social attributes of the gods, it is transferred to one omnipotent God, who, in turn, is only a reflection of an abstract person. Thus arose monotheism, which historically was the last product of the Greek olar philosophy of a later epoch, and found its ready-made vision of the Putin and exclusive Yahweh. In this convenient and adaptable form, religion can continue to exist as an immediate relation of people to dominating alien forces, natural and social, as long as people are actually under power with. Socialism and religion. Workers Penzist and Pro. Tastia for privileged freedom to fight for like a mini Babajden. But what kind of breed does not save us from capital? Religion is one of the writings of Numaniah Kunix by River work on others with the power of impotence exploiting our afterlife, like a boxing fakir dressed in faith in the gods. Mark the one who works all his life and needs and teaches humility and patience in earthly life, every hope for a heavenly reward. And for those who live by labor, religion teaches a charitable life, offering both a very cheap justification for an exploitative existence and selling similar tickets to heavenly prosperity is rarely the opium of the people. Religion is a kind of spiritual sayuha, in which the slaves of capital drown their human image, while demands for something worthy. But the slave, who has given up his slavery and submitted to our struggle for his emancipation, half ceases to beat the slave. The modern, conscious worker in large-scale factory industry, engrossed in urban life, casts aside carved prejudices, presents himself at the disposal of the ponies and the bourgeoisie for himself a better life here on earth. The modern Tariot takes the side of socialism, which draws science to the fight against religion and fog and arouses the worker from believing in an afterlife and rallies him for a real struggle for a better life. Nita Bain, Audi Style. He apuntis on Napa, anime ha topan sednes seri une and ned in uses sub tani otheria derma marina, bo. Lucan. Cobet bofob. One gene. It's enough to yell and whisper to each other over the corners. Ama that in our time there are many under Kufsforo involved, but since a meeting has been convened for them, let the Khazar express his opinion and step into the monastery. And then, Hermes, announce how the sexes are Rachiche no Atomy. Hermeo listen, be quiet. Who are adults of full-fledged gods willing to speak? Discussed in Upak o Marisaxnuya e Mudix Mom 1. Jean, A, Mom, if only. 11. Yerod sensin o naranye kupans duao. Ya sto toad vewi yo mo popmen. Sakorf WSNAC hum hinakrar o 90 toro. STOO can apo spotwalk and Doria NER, on Ebatart, STO ne complan. PARAX and Bond Crown CARKO care. Ho pomi veut that I'm not obsessed with getting away, if it's okay, I'm offended by an orthodont, I'm not afraid of someone from me ensign by nature as a denunciation and what kind of accuser from society. And so once Hermes has been announced and you yourself are allowed to speak freely and I will say without hiding anything. 3. So, I say, many, not content with the fact that they themselves participate in the same meetings as we do, and feast on an equal footing with us, and yet they are half-mortal Aprils to the sky of their servants and drinking companions included them in the lists of the gods. And now they, on a par with us, will share free treats and receive their share of the tax from labels. They pay zeal nothing, mom, riddles to guess the mountain. 4 Mon. Cass, right, okay. Zems, that you even encourage me to be frank. You do it with that kind of kick, Popstein Royal, generosity that I'll call Pisna. At least this most noble Dionysus, after all, about half a man and on his mother's side, don't even push, but the grandson of Calmas of some Syro-Phoenician merchant. Since he was honored with immortality, I will not talk about what he is like to himself, or about his female headband, but about his drunken walk. He is half mad that from him in the morning it reeks undiluted, brought to us all his brother and lives here with his choir, having made the gods of Pan, Silenus and the satyrs some uncouth peasants and in the majority, if they are shepherds and monsters in appearance. Horned, all cozen on his body, let go of his beard, in a word, not much different from a goat. Another old man, flat, snub-nosed, more and more rides a donkey. He was born in Lydia. And the satyrs have sharp ears, they too. Bald, horned, their horns are the same as those of newborn kids. Some of them are Phrygians, and all of them have tails. Do you see what gods this noble offspring creates for us? 5. What wonder if people despise us? Seeing such funny and wonderful gods? I'm not talking about the fact that he brought here 2 women, his mistress Ariadne, and even her foam he ranked among the stars, the other, the daughter of the peasant Icarius. But what's funniest of all, gods. He is even the dog of Aragona, even brought him here so that the girl would not yearn if her own beloved dog would not be with her in heaven. And this, in your opinion, not impudence, not a scandal, not a mockery? But listen to the others. 6. Zers, no. Mom, don't say a word about Askell Stump, or about her. Bald, horned, their horns are the same as